Hi fashion lovers, you're welcome to another interesting video. In today's tutorial we are going to be learning how to make a kimono shift dress. We are going to be learning how to make a kimono shift dress, just like what you're seeing on the screen. It is very easy and simple to make. Whether you're a beginner or not, it is very easy. So if it is something you want to learn, you need to keep watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Let's get started. To get started, I have this my African print fabric. So for this tutorial I have 2 yards of fabric. So as you can see, I've gone ahead to mark 1 inch. So this fabric is folded, is on fold. I have gone ahead to mark 1 inch, and this is going to be my front part. So that 1 inch is going to be the slit on the front. The front has a slit, so you want to cut that part open and then sew it. So from the starting point, you want to mark from your shoulder to your chest line. Because this is going to be a free dress, I will advise you add 1 inch to your chest line. So whatever your chest line is, you can add 1 inch to it and mark. Then you mark from shoulder to your waist measurement. You also mark your shoulder to your hip measurement, your shoulder to the length of the dress that you're working with, the length you want, and the hemming allowance. As you can see, I've ruled a line. I've marked my chest line, waistline, hip line, the length of my dress, and 2.5 inches hemming allowance. So from this starting point now, after the 1 inch that I mark, you want to mark 3 inches, and then you want to mark half of your shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 15 divided by 2 will give me 7.5. After that, you want to mark the length of the sleeve. So I'm marking 7 inches plus half inch for the sewing allowance. So what I marked on the shoulder line is half of my shoulder measurement, and then my sleeve length plus half inch for the sewing allowance. Then from that point, you want to come down by 1.5 inches for your shoulder slope. So this shoulder slope is going to serve for both the front and the back. Then you want to go ahead and connect to your neckline, that is your 3 inches. So that point becomes your the armhole opening. So from the chest line now, you come inward by 1 inch and connect it like this. So the sleeve opening around there is meant to be slanty, not straight. So that's the reason why I came inward from the chest line by 1 inches to connect the sleeve opening. So on the chest line, you mark 1/4 of your chest measurement and add 1 inch for ease. 1 inch for ease. On the waistline, mark 1/4 of your waist measurement and your sewing allowance. So I'm not adding ease on the waist because I'm going to be attaching a zipper to this dress. So what I did again is that on the chest line, I marked 1 inch for my sewing allowance. So what I have on the chest line is 1/4 of my bust circumference, 1 inch for ease, and then 1 inch for the sewing allowance. And what I have on my waistline is 1/4 of my waist measurement plus sewing allowance, no ease. So when you just connect from the chest to the waistline, you want to come down by 1 inches. So this 1 inches that I marked at this point is going to serve as the sewing allowance for that sleeve part. Did you see? I came down by 1 inch to connect. That is going to serve as the sewing allowance. Then you want to go ahead and make a curve. Did you see? That curve becomes your armhole. Did you see? So that is how it works. So on your hip line, you mark 1/4 of your hip measurement, add 1 inch for the sewing allowance and 1 inch for ease. So on my hip line, I marked 1/4 of my hip measurement, 1 inch for ease, and 1 inch for the sewing allowance. So whatever you have on the hip line, you want to come to the hem part and transfer it. So you mark on the hem part and also mark on the sewing allowance, the hemming allowance. Then you want to connect with a straight ruler. So with this now we have marked the body part of this shift dress. So this is what I have after I was done. So I'm going to be working also on the back. So the back, I'm going to be folding the back. I'm going to be adding the back to this this front part, so I'll be able to cut everything together. So for the neckline, I'm going to be using 3.5 inches for the width. So for the back neckline, I will mark 1 inch. So I'm going to be adding the back part to cut out the back and then proceed to cutting out the front. So the neckline I used, the width is 3.5 and the depth is 1 inch. So for the back now, for the front now, you are going to be marking 6 inches for the depth. This is going to be a V neckline, so I came down by 6 inches and then I'm going to mark a straight line. Did you see? So the depth I'm using for the front is 6 inches for the neckline. Did you see? So you mark your V, then you want to like extend it towards this part, towards that 1 inch. You want to extend it like this. Note that that 1 inch you are going to be sewing it later. Did you see? So that becomes the front neckline and the first neckline becomes the back neckline. Did you see that? So the next thing I want to do is to grab another fabric. Did you see? This is going to be the back part, and I've marked 1 inch for the zipper allowance on the back part. Did you see? So this is 1 inch for the zipper allowance. So I'm going to also put the front to the back. I'm going to mash it up together. It's going to I'm going to mash it up together like this. So after that, on the waistline, you want to mark 1 inch. So that 1 inch I'm marking on this waistline is for the back part, because on the back part, on the zipper side, we want to go inward on the waistline by 1 inch, just like we do for our normal dress, and you want to add it back. So that is on the waistline, I'm adding 1 inch, and I'm connecting from the armhole to that waistline, and from the waistline to the hip line. So this is going to be for the back part, and this 1 inch I added, I'm gonna remove it from the back part when I'm gonna be removing the zipper bulging effect. So that's the reason I added it. It's only for the back part, and it's serving the purpose of that zipper part. When you go to your back zipper and you remove 1 inch from that back zipper, so you need to add it back. So that is the reason why I added it back. So the next thing is to cut it and cut the neckline. I am adding ½ inch on the neckline and the shoulder for my sewing allowance. So I'll go ahead, cut this part. So I'm cutting the back part now, as you can see. So I will cut through that sewing the 1 inch I added on the waistline. That is for the back part. So, and I've cut out the neckline. So from this point now, you want to come down by 14 inches your back waistline. Did you see? And then you want to go ahead and remove that 1 inch for that zipper bulging effect. So you want to also stop 1 inch before your hip line. So that's 1 inch I added. This is the reason why I added it, because I'm going to be cutting out 1 inch from the center back for the zipper tightening, because I'm going to be cutting that 1 inch. So that was the reason I added that 1 inch to that back part. So that 1 inch is not going to be on the front part, so I will still cut it out from the front part. It's going to be only on the back part. So you want to open up the zipper side. Then for the front now, you want to go ahead and cut out the neckline for the front, and then you want to cut out that 1 inch you added earlier, because we don't need it for the front, we only needed it for the back due to the zipper tightening or the center back tightening. So you want to now open the slits now, this point. So this part now is the slit region, so you want to open it up. This is for the front now, and then from the waistline on the side seam, you come down by 1 inch and notch. So that is where your pocket is going to start. You can come down by 1 inch or ½ an inch. So for me, I came down by 1 inch from the waistline and notch. So that becomes my zipper, where my pocket is going to be. So this is me also putting the back part also. I want to get that exact point, so I'll be able to notch for my pocket. So just ½ inch below your zipper, your waistline, is where we're going to be attaching your pocket. So you want to go ahead and fix your zipper on the back part, and then for the neckline you want to use your bias tape and finish it up. Sew your zipper to the back part and finish up your neckline with your bias. So this is the back on the front part. You want to go ahead and sew that 1 inch that we added, then close up the neckline by adding bias tape. Then you want to like come up by 4 inches from the down part. Now that is after your hemming allowance, that your slit is going to be that open. That's going to be your slit opening for the front. So I'm using 4 inches. You can use 5, you can use 6 inches. So when I was done, this is what I have. I've attached my bias tape. I've sewn the 1 inch. Did you see? And this is my slit opening. Did you see that? So this is my slit opening for the front part. So you want to go ahead and fold in that part. Did you see? Fold it in. Very easy and simple. Did you see that? So the next thing you want to do is to cut out the fabric that is going to be on the front part. So for me, I'm using a bridal satin, and the width of this fabric is 3 inches and the length is long enough to cover the front part. So you want to go ahead and fold it. Did you see? Fold it into 2 and sew by ½ inch. Remember the width is 3 inches, so by the time you fold it you will have 1.5, and then when you sew by ½ inch you are going to have 1 inch left. So that is it. You're going to fold it. If you don't want to use the bridal satin, you can go ahead and use your velvet trimming, all those velvet trimming that you don't need to fold in, that you can just attach to the front. So as you can see, I'm done sewing. I have 2 of those in this bridal satin. So I've gone ahead to fold it, to turn it to the right side, and then use my iron to press it down. So what I use, the width is 3 inches, fold it by 2, you have 1.5. when you are done sewing, you have 1 inch. Then you turn it to the right side. Then you want to go ahead and start attaching it one neckline. You sew to the that sewing allowance you have on the front. You sew on one end of it, and then you also want to attach this like this. Did you see? You attach like this. Try to overlap it on this V up point. You try to overlap it, and then you sew. You want to sew very close to that the bridal satin, so that everything aligns together and it's well covered. So when I was done, this is what I have. So in case you don't want to use this, you can use your velvet trimming, which is more better, and that was what was used on the main design that we are working with. So did you see when I was done? So this is the back part. I've attached my zipper. Did you see? You can decide not to use your zipper. What you do is just add like 1.5 inches ease on your waistline. You might not need to add a zipper to it. So for me, I'm going to be adding a zipper because the design we're working with has a zipper. So you want to also sew the two shoulders together like this. So when you are done sewing the shoulder together, this is what you are going to have. Did you see that? So when you open it up, this is what you are going to have. So you want to go ahead and attach that part that is on the sleeve. That fold that is on the sleeve. So I have my fabric cut out, is on fold and is 2.5. when you open it up, you have it as 5 inches. Did you see? And then the length is long enough to sew that sleeve part. Did you see? So I have 5 inches. When you fold it, you're gonna have 2.5. Then you want to like attach it to the wrong side of the sleeve and sew. And once you are done sewing, you bring it to the right side of the sleeve. Did you see? So for this particular stuff on the sleeve, you can decide to use another color. Instead of using the main fabric, you can decide to use another color. So the next thing is to cut my pocket. You want to fold your fabric like this, put your hand, and then cut out the desired pocket that you want for yourself. So I just make a sketch of what I want to cut. Then I will now go ahead and cut out the pocket. The pocket should be deep enough for your hand, and the width should be long enough for to enter your hand. So if I put my hand, as you can see, it fits in well. So let me check the width here. Did you see it? I have it as 8 inches. Then you want to go ahead and use it and cut another pocket for the other side. So when I was done, this is what I have 4 pieces of it. So now I want to go ahead and attach it. So grab one part, let the right side of it face the right side of the fabric, go to that point that you notched and place it like this. Did you see? So you're going to be sewing it like that. Go to that point you notched and then place it on that part. Did you see? That's how you attach your sleeve. You want to go ahead and sew it. Let me repeat it for the front now. Grab one part of the pocket, look for that point you notch for where your pocket is going to start. Place the right side of the pocket to the right side of the fabric and then go and sew by 1/2 inch. So when you are done sewing, this is what you're going to have. Did you see? I've attached the pocket, did you see, to that point. Then you want to now bring the fabric down, the right side of the fabric facing the right side of the front facing the right side of the back. Then you want to go ahead and pin the sides down, because you want to sew from the armhole to the pocket side to the end part. So this is what I sewed, the design I gave on the sleeve. You want to fold it to the front now. Did you see? Go ahead and fold it to the front now, and then you hold it like this, fold it to the front. Then you want to go ahead and sew through the neckline, and then you want to go and sew to the pocket. So the sewing allowance I added to the body is 1 inch, but on the pocket I'm going to be sewing 1/2 inch. So you are going to sew when you get to the pocket side. As you are sewing the side of the pocket, you want to sew by 1/2 inch like this. Did you see? And then sew to the armhole region. Fold the sleeve to the front part, the design on the sleeve, fold it to the front part, and then sew everywhere. And then the next thing is to fold your hemming allowance by the hemming allowance you have added. So when I was done, this is what I have. As you can see, I'm done sewing. Did you see that? So I just needed to iron at this point. Did you see? So and this was the final result. Did you see? So this is the final result. It came out so nice, so beautiful. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Bye bye.